tell you what, this young man right here, we watched him grow up, and I'm so happy to have not only him in the studio, but Joe Nick at the same time, because Joe Nick knows a lot about this guy right here, and that is Dylan Bishop. How you doing today, sir?
Yeah, very well. Very well. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you. A man of your caliber and your talent, I appreciate every time you want to come on my show, because you actually contacted me about coming on the show, and it just blew me away. Thank you so much for that.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So you've been doing the J Texas thing, but you still doing your own stuff right here, and you're talking about fixing to go back in the studio. And which way you leaning on this new stuff that you're going to go into?
Well, lately I've been doing stuff with it's just me and the acoustic, and I just it's a little batch of it's like a little inspiration spurt that kind of happened I guess about a couple years ago, and it's been forming into what it is now. And I've been writing a lot of poems and stuff too, and I'm always playing guitar, so I just kind of started putting them together, and I'm coming up with a lot of clever songs that I've been just putting out really quickly because I don't want to overthink any of it. I just want to document the idea and keep going, and so it's out there for anyone. And so I did an album called Frog Song, and then an album called Three Soul Sisters. This was all in the last month or two, and next month I've been working up some more songs. So next month I'm going to go in and do another one. It's called Waltz in the Folk and Blues, and so that'll be coming out, and then I'll also be putting out an album of some blues tracks I did with some Austin musicians and friends of mine that was funded by a guy named Wes Race, a good friend of ours. So anyway, that's all coming up, and you can just find it all under my name, Dylan.
Oh, that is so cool. Now, you're serious about when you record that? It won't take long for it to be released, huh? You don't overthink it, huh?
I do it pretty quickly because I'm so eager to get it out there anyway, and I don't. I'm just kind of representing myself and doing it however I feel like it. And lately, I just like doing it that way and just putting it out there. And
so you don't have to wait for that A&R guy to tell you anything or anything else like that.
I'm patient because I want to share the stuff with everyone. While you're working it up, it's just really, for me, it's kept to myself, and you're with it all the time when you're working on any project, with it all the time, and then so anyway, it's nice when you can let it go. And
oh, you betcha. Joe Nick, you got a question for him?
Well, the creative well is overflowing. Then you've got to keep recording. Then I like that attitude that it's like just get it out there. If you're worried about an album and marketing and all that other stuff, let someone else worry about that. Yeah. As long as you've got the creative wealth and you've got stuff inside of you, you got to get it out.
Definitely.
And it sounds like you've got a lot that you want to get out, but you're not into one groove. You're not into as Coach described J Texas as California psychedelic surf rock. And I thought, man, that was a perfect description. And then I know through West Race you've been doing some more traditional stone blues. But what's your groove? I mean,
well, it's kind of a combination of those three, I guess. Like, for example, last night I was up in Fort Worth actually playing with Cadillac Johnson, and that was like blues, more like blues.
The original bass player, actually, of ZZ Top.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Oh, I didn't know that one. Yeah. Man, I always learned something from Joe Nick,
Yeah, I've been knowing him for a chunk of years now, and I still maintain gigs with him up there. And so I still do those things, too. And then I still play with Texas, too. We're going to be working on an album this month, and we're playing later today. And that's my kind of spectrum, and I kind of float in there. But I always come back to blues, it seems like, is my kind of spine or whatever, That's like always just my grounding kind of thing.
I think that's actually when people talk about Texas music. I know my colleague and friend Michael Corcoran made the point. The one common thread that runs through all musics in Texas is that blues. Mm-hmm. Whether you're doing country, whether you're doing rhythm and blues or soul or rock and roll, but blues is one of these definitive qualities that we got here is being Texans. So have you traveled outside of the state any, or are you interested in traveling outside of the state?
Yeah, I've done some traveling. I was just over in Spain with J Texas.
Okay.
That was a really awesome time. And then I was before that I was in Europe, across Europe for a while, doing some gigs, some blues stuff under my name. Picked up a couple rhythm sections as I bounced all around, and even got to go to Morocco for a minute.
Sweet.
It was amazing. And then stuff around the States too. I've done some touring.
Well, I'm curious, in Europe, what do they see in you? How do they perceive you? Is it anything different than?
This seems like while I was there, overall I would say the crowds seemed a little more excitable, and like genuinely not afraid to show like they were really enjoying themselves, and I I'm not. Yeah, they just were really appreciative. Honestly, cool crowds and all kind of ages. I got to see a lot of different parts of the country, so I got to see a good spectrum of people. I like to think, and overall, I'd say everyone seemed excited in their own way. They seemed genuinely appreciting.
So when they saw the name J Texas in Spain, did they expect y'all to speak a little French or anything?
Oh yeah, people think that everywhere. But yeah, and that was the whole cool thing too. It's the same. They were super in Spain when we went to Texas. They were so appreciative and like we had a great time and just a very warm.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. So, raised in Fort Worth, and you started playing at a very early age. But what got you going towards the blues at that early age? Was there somebody that influenced you? I mean, or anything else like that?
Well, yeah, I heard. So I first started. It was like more stuff like AC/DC and that kind of realm, and that caught my interest right away. And then I drifted into like that kind of sound, and then eventually I was popping around on YouTube one day, and I heard Elmore James.
Oh,
I was
man,
doing a song called Blues Before Sunrise, and I remember it very well. I was about 11 or 12, and it just really it was like chapter 2 starting or something. Like it stopped me in my tracks, like just the way I was like, I'd never heard that kind of conviction or whatever you want to call it. I was just like, and that was it. And then ever since I've had the internet as like a a good tool, to be able to explore that with the right kind of discipline. You can find it all.
Okay, those are recordings though, but somehow you got into this live blues community in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
And you tapped into them when all these older players were getting excited about this young kid.
Yeah, I met a guy named Rio Casey, and I was up there playing. He was around McKinney, around that area, and he took me out to a jam, and kind of was cool. He was he was my introduction to that kind of scene, and he introduced me to a guy named Hash Brown, and that was just like Hash Brown and like that whole scene, Mike Morgan, and Wes Ray, Sumter Bruton, Cadillac, and that was just happened very quickly, and all those people were just super kind to me and appreciative as well, like. And I was just like, it was until I met those people, I thought that I didn't know anyone else who was into that kind of music at all. So it was really a cool feeling when I found these people that could also play it well. And Hash and those people that knew so many of these guys like Zuzu Bolin and people like that. It's just so cool, and I'm so glad that I fell into that pocket because it's just the ultimate schooling.
Joe Nick, we need to get him to play a song right now.
Yeah,
so Dylan Bishop, everybody, let's hear a song right here. Yeah.
This is one I did on that album, Three Soul Sisters. It's called Polish My Medallion. Cleaning off my palate, cutting out booze and nicotine. Bad fuel by the gallon's been running down on my machine. I'm gonna polish my medallion and I won't stop till it's shiny clean. While I'm still a young man, I'll maintain my machine. It's thick like slime, cause I've consumed a lot of poisons. My mother raised me right, but I gravitate toward all she shunned. But I'm gonna live a long time, and I'm gonna shake hands with my great-grandson. While I'm still a young man, I'll polish my medallion. So if I seem a little edgy with you or my demeanor seems grave, it's cause I'm just a big baby if I don't get all that I crave. But please be patient with me. Can't you see that I'm on my way? My shiny medallion will turn this dark night into a brighter day.
Dylan Bishop, man, that sounded so good.
Thank you.
All right, educate me, Dylan. Is that an original? Whose song is that?
That's mine.
That is yours?
Oh, yeah.
I would have swore that was a cover of somebody because I know that you do some cover songs, from time to time, and I really thought the line, shake I'm going to live to shake hands with my great grandson or grandson.
Yeah, great.
Great. That's a great line. That's why I thought it had to be a cover. I really thought that meant. Hey, pat yourself on the back here, Dylan. Joe, what do you got for him? Yeah.
That sounded like it was straight out of Deep Ellum. I was hearing a little bit of Blind Lemon in there.
Yeah.
A little bit of Smokey Hog. All those characters. Frankie Lee Sims.
Yeah,
play.
that's it, for sure.
You know, when Joe, Nick, and I grew up, we didn't have that thing like the internet to go look up things like that. We had to go to the library and try to find things that way, and it still wasn't always successful and stuff like that. You know, he just mentioned Blind Lemon, and you just act like you knew exactly who he's talking about and stuff like that. Yeah, and so how do you, I mean, through YouTube and stuff like that, is how you discover all these people and everything else like that?
A lot of it. It certainly assisted me a lot along the way, you know, and then every now and again I'd have those interactions again with people like Sumter and Fort Worth, again, Sumter Bruton and people like that who just give me the ultimate, like, a few other names, you know. That's how I find a, like, deeper level of people like Zuzu Bolin and people like that, who, in my opinion, are not as popular as some others, but... So just, yeah, but the internet has been great. I just nerded out for so long on it, just going down the YouTube rabbit hole, and you find so much, and... But people like, he mentioned Blind Lemon. Blind Lemon is just like my hero because his melodies and his conviction was so, it oozes out of that stuff, and his poetry, his words are incredible. And he's like, his arrangements on the guitar are genius, but so much of it is shrouded behind like this, like, because it's so old.
Yes.
It's just crackly as heck. And if you can really hear it, it's genius. It's genius.
It is good stuff. Now, you're no, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love the fact that you're a young guy, that you're passionate about something like this. And of course, you were raised in the Fort Worth area, which is, man, it's got so much rich history in the blues and other kind of music here, too. I mean, were you able to soak up some of the stuff when you're growing up around the area and stuff?
A little bit. It was the whole time that I was there and playing and into it. It was pretty much all blues. For a while there, I was only into blues, and that was all I was kind of trying to absorb. And it's not until recently that I branched out again. But I picked up a lot of blues though, and I was going out a lot for a while and seeing some great people, like I mentioned. You know, Mike Morgan, and Jim Schuler, and Christian Dozler. He's killer. Christian, and a bunch of people like that.
You betcha, Joe.
Well, you know, you mentioned Sumter Bruton, and I always like giving him props because Sumter's the one that turned me on to Gorey Carter.
Yeah.
And Gorey is basically the father of Texas rock and roll with the music he did. But Sumter, every time you go to Record Town when he was working there, it was always, you don't go there to shop. He wants to show you what's, you know, he's educating you. And in fact, there's a great story about one of your contemporaries, Leon Bridges, going to Record Town, and Sumter would always pull a guitar off the wall for him to play and kind of talk to him about music. But you have been educated by some masters who aren't necessarily academic educators, but these cats knew the stuff and they passed it on. And that's what I love. Your music is not... you're not too worried about being overly traditional or having to be faithful. It's got to be played just the way the original recording is. You're off on a whole other thing, but that upbringing, it sticks with me. I can hear it.
That means a lot. Thank you.
That is so good. So now, like writing a song like that last song there too, is it something that just came to you, or did you have to work on it for quite a while?
Well, I'm always playing, like I'm always on it from when I wake up till I go to bed. I'm really always in that kind of zone. But a song like that, the actual lyrics and things came pretty quickly on that one. It fluctuates, but lately, knock on wood, they happen. Again, I guess as a result of just always being engaged with the instrument and the idea of creating, they come quick sometimes. I'm scribbling, and again, a good tool, but you know, is the voice recorder on our phone.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Feel that coming on, I'll hit click and forget about it, so I got it down, because sometimes you need to just flow with the ideas.
We had an old performer come on before saying that you used to in the old days, you had to keep singing the song in the car till you got home to write it down, and you didn't have the voice track on your phone. Well, Dylan, let's hear another song. Dylan Bishop, everybody.
Thank you. This one's called Ballad of a Chore Boy. I'm a little low on money, you know, where I doing all of her chores, and doing all her chores. The break of day found her without a key underneath the balcony. Soon she was balancing on my shoulder. She said, lift me, boy, and you'll get a little pay. She said, lift me, boy, and you'll get a little pay. She said she was bound for a token town, asked me to watch the grounds and keep her chimney at a smolder. She said, miss me, boy, and you'll get a little pay. She said, miss me, boy, and you'll get a little pay. So she went driving down the highway, went around a bend and didn't break, went tumbling with her life at stake, just like a boulder. She said, come flip me, boy, and you'll get a little pay. She said, come flip me, boy, and you'll get a little pay. Then she called the trip off, we went back to her loft. She said, sing me something soft, man, and the melody I made up lulled her. So she said, kiss me, boy, you'll get a little pay. She said, kiss me, boy, and you'll get a little pay. You'll get a little pay. Yeah, I know a little country lane well worth walking down. It leads to a rich lady's door. And when I'm a little low on money, you know where I can be found, following that lady around and doing all of her chores and doing all the chores and doing all the chores.
Yeah, good stuff there. Dylan Bishop. Hey, we're going to take a little break and we're going to come right back with more Dylan Bishop. Y'all stick around. And we're back over easy with Coach. And, of course, I got the handsome and talented Joe Nick Podolsky with me here. And Too Sweet Bonbon behind the board making it sound so good. And, Joe Nick, we're having a great time here, aren't we?
Too much fun.
Too much fun.
They're going to come after us in a minute, trying to arrest us.
Yeah, but, man, what a great talent we have right here with Dylan Bishop in the studio here. And
it's a blast just visiting with Dylan. We don't want to eat up too much bandwidth by talking, but you got good stories, man. And I mean, they're not always stories in music. It's just what you've experienced, where you're at, where you're going.
And he's 25 years old. Yeah, can you imagine what's going to happen in the next 25 years?
Yeah, so Dylan, Dylan, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Well, I had no idea.
Dylan, we need to hear another song, though. Play us another song, please.
All right, this one's called A Drunkard's Lament. I start out feeling fine, but I'm far from the kind to leave well enough alone. I'm weaker than whiskey and wine. Well, I'm eager to cross the line, and then I'm too far gone. Too much is never quite enough for a drunkard like me. When I get out on my spree, on the street. Said, sip, don't chug, man, that stuff in the jug you're tipping It's not made for a glug, and it's the kind that's been designed for nipping. But I just shrug, feeling tougher than my inhibition. And I woke up on the rug in an ugly kind of condition. I don't remember what I said, but I would sure rather be dead than rude to ya. I was out of my head and you were dealing with a devil intruder. And I'm sorry about your bed, but I'm sure glad that you rolled me when I threw up. Now the day that's lying ahead's filled with dread because my pleasure's used up. And your stairs I'd tumble on down if there was any hair from the hellhound left that bit me. Though it's rare there's any around left to repair me when I'm roused up sickly. And unfair form I'd clown if by the pair I could knock them down quite quickly. For my fears and cares, oh, when my fears and cares are drowning in whiskey. I start out feeling fine, but I'm far from the kind to leave well enough alone. Wow, wow, wow. And I'm weaker than whiskey and wine. Well, I'm eager to cross the line, and then I'm too far gone. Too much is never quite enough for a drunkard like me. When I get out on my street, yeah, on the street.
Yeah, Dylan Bishop. Yes, yes. For all the guitar nerds listening in right now, can you tell everybody what kind of guitar you're playing right now?
Yeah, it's a recording king. Yeah.
A recording king, huh?
A recording king. Yeah.
How long have you had it?
I've had it for about probably about 5 years. My mom got this for me for my birthday a few years ago, and I've always had it with me. And I broke it, and it sat unused for a while because I was told it was unrepairable, but it got repaired after all. I broke the neck on it. I got it back, and I just love it. I play it all the time.
Well, man, it sounds good. It sounds real good. Now, people are listening in. They want to know more about Dylan Bishop. How can they find out more? You got all the social media, website, and all that kind of good stuff?
Yeah, some of it. You can mostly just through the music itself on like Spotify, Apple, YouTube, those basic platforms. You can find my albums under Dylan Bishop. I got 2 of them right now, and I'll put out 2 more in December. And also, I have my group Texas. That's J-E, Texas, and I think you'd enjoy that too. It's more on the psychedelic side and doing a lot of things like that. So that's the main way. I'm not too good about self-promotion at the moment, but I do have an Instagram.
You do have an Instagram. That is wonderful. Now, you talk about you got a gig tonight with J Texas?
Yes, we do. And I wish I were better about having the details on me about it, but it's with a thing called Purple Bee, and it's around here in town, and I know that you can stream it.
I got you.
So it's streamable, and it's Purple Bee, and the group is J Texas, so...
Go check that out for sure.
Tonight.
Yeah. And are you playing anywhere else this weekend or anything else like that? You know off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure, but I'm going back up to Fort Worth. I go up there quite a bit and playing up there and playing up there. I'm going to be doing some recording this week with J Texas. We're doing another record right now. I got you. Awesome. Joe Nick, you got another question for him?
What's more fun, recording, working in the studio, or playing live?
That's funny you ask that. It's kind of lately it fluctuates for me. For me, lately, it's the recording side. Like just, especially in this new whatever I got going where I'm just kind of trying to keep them flowing out. I really enjoy seeing it through and getting it to the recording because to me it's just like it's been documented, for lack of a better term, and it's there. And then I've made my contribution. I can let go of that and move on because for me, you are carrying it with you the whole time. And I do it in batches, like for albums. So
how do you know you're finished with a song?
Well, I get it down pretty good. I just play them over and over and over for however long it takes. Lately, it's been a month or so, and a couple weeks even, and then I just have to set myself a timeline. I'll hit up Billy, who I'm doing the recordings with, and say, hey, can we get a date on the books? Usually about a month out. Like, for example, I made mine December 14th, And then I was just so excited that I want to do it so quick that I moved it back a few days to December 11th, and that deadline's good for me. So I know I got from now until then. It's like me and those songs.
And how many takes will you do on a track, on a given track?
Usually no more than like 2 or 3.
So you're not the kind of guy that in the studio I've got to do it 50 times to have it perfect.
No, not lately. It's just that because I do it so much before I go in there that I like to have it. I like to have it good and the right combination of spontaneous. Because I do have that kind of ego that could go back and dissect everything and want to. But I'm learning to keep that in check and use it, but not be like bullied by it, because it can ruin a lot of great things. That whatever that is.
Yeah, the studio experience is very different than playing live.
Yeah, it really is. It is, and lately I like it a lot for some reason. I'm a little more introverted, I guess, and I enjoy that setting to do it. If the songs are good.
Most definitely. Now you talk about going to the studio. Do you like all the new high tech stuff? Or are you still like going back and doing the old school way of recording and stuff like that?
I definitely like the older approach to it all. You just with Texas, we do it all at Gion's place. It's all on tape and analog, and we got all for that. It's psychedelic, so we got like all 9 hands on the board, the 3 of us. It's a performance mix, and then same thing with Billy with this last few albums I've been doing. I do them with Billy Horton, and he does it in that old style, and he knows that old style very well, and that's important because nowadays you have to be kind of discerning about that. Back in the day, I feel like you were gonna get, I don't know how to put it, but you could rely on just doing your thing, and the recording is gonna sound good. But nowadays you can suck a lot out through the recording process, so it's great to have people you trust to do it, and Billy's that.
Oh, you betcha, yeah. And when you go in, do you put your hands into the producer's hand? I mean, do you put your music in his hands, or do you still have a lot of great ideas about your songs and how they should come out?
It's pretty, when I go in with Texas, it's a bit more collaborative. I work out the melodies and the words and the chords on my guitar, take it to the guys, and then it's pretty collaborative because it's Damian Yanez on drums and Gian Ortiz on bass and myself, and same thing. It's just we got so much mutual musical respect for each other that's collaborative. And then this stuff like I'm doing for you now it's pretty worked out in my head, and Billy's pretty hands off. Every now and again he'll say something, and it usually behooves me to listen to Billy. He's got great taste.
He doesn't talk a lot, but when he does, you need to listen.
Yeah, exactly.
He steers the ship a little bit with the comment.
Every now and then it's just like,
Well, we're running out of time, but we got time for one more song. How about it, Dylan? You got one left in you? Dylan Bishop, everybody.
All right, thank you. Let's see. This one is off the album Frog Song. It's called Mosquito Moan. And I just wrote this. I came up with the melody and chords while I was going around Europe, actually, and I was sitting on it forever. Couldn't figure out what to do, and I put Boll Weevil lyrics to it for the longest time, a song called Boll Weevil Blues, and I slowly inserted my own thing. I was getting tore up by mosquitoes. I wrote it, so these are all very true songs. It's all just like very true. Before they bite me, they assail me in a swarm again. Slap them before they bite me, they assail me in a swarm, in a swarm. They're coming at me in 2s and 3s and 4s. 2s and 3s and 4s, yeah. Well, I was a good lawn keeper, but now my grass is getting high. My grass is getting high, 'cause those mean old mosquitoes have been keeping me inside. Man, those mean old mosquitoes have been keeping me inside, I guess they're trying to see that I'm vitamin D deprived. Vitamin D deprived, yeah. But I know every kind of creature has got a role to fill, has got a role to fill. Though the Purpose of mosquitoes I ponder about still, yeah. Purpose of mosquitoes I ponder about it still, As I watch the summer passing my windowsill, passing my windowsill, yeah. So doggone the mosquitoes for keeping me indoors, for keeping me indoors. I can't slap them for they bite me, they assail me in a swarm. I can't slap them for they bite me, they assail me in a swarm, They're coming at me in 2s and 3s and 4s, 2s and 3s and 4s, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
Dylan Bishop. Oh, that sounds so good.
Thanks.
Man, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We really appreciate that, and hopefully we'll get you back in after you release a couple more albums here in December there, yeah, for sure. But we're going to put you on the spot to see if you can answer Joe Nick's pop quiz of the day. So, Joe Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, I was talking. There's a big launch today in Austin, and it's not a rocket launch, but there's a launch. What's the launch all about? This is a big deal. This is international news.
Ooh. It's not
a rocket, but you know that's actually a hint.
Oh man, I was thinking
it's the Elon Musk thing, the SpaceX thing that he's launching. Correct?
No. Well, close.
It's his Tesla pickup.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that's what I knew
Ding,
it was
ding,
something
ding,
with
ding,
him.
It's the pickup.
It's the pickup.
And a new
The cyber pickup truck is being rolled out
And it's
today in
weird.
Austin.
In Austin.
It's the
It's
first of its
different.
kind. We'll see.
It's a pickup truck, but Tesla version?
Yeah, and it does not look like a pickup truck at all.
No,
It looks kind of like a car, but then the back part kind of opens up like a truck bed.
Interesting.
Yeah, and famously, when they rolled it out, kind of a demo a couple years ago, Elon Musk was showing how it was indestructible, and he took a sledgehammer to the windshield, and he cracked the windshield.
Oh,
Has he done it again now?
Yeah, it looks like it's about some science fiction movie.
Yeah,
The shape and the form of it there, though. Yeah.
No, but the biggest factory in Austin that's going to be their product for a while.
I knew it was something with him.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much, Dylan, for coming in. Any shout outs? Anybody want to say hi to them? Maybe listening in today.
Oh, I bet there's a guy up in Fort Worth named James Taylor. Him and his wife Nancy. They're super appreciative of my music, and I bet James is listening. He always finds a way to listen. Somehow he always does. And so James and my parents, if they're listening, and definitely my folks. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you so much coming on, Dylan. It was always a treat, and please come back on again.
I sure will.
It was such a good time there.